Can you hear that? Give me the other mic. We were using this mic earlier. Check, check, check. No. It's barely. Can you all hear me over there in that corner? Nope, they can't because they're not looking. There we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our Pretty Goat contest here this evening. We're going to start with our Pee Wee division. We've got 2 entries for that. What is going to be happening is there's going to be a story that each exhibitor has written, and they are dressed up to go with their story. We have our judges. They'll be looking at various things, their script, how they're... I don't know what it says. Anyway, so when you come in to the ring, don't go past the judges. So just kind of do a circle in here in between the camera things that are here. Don't go past the judges. All right, we're going to get started.
Okay, our first Pee-wee up is Brindley. Once upon a time, there was a magical land called Diamond J Acres where 2 fairies named Brindley and Rue lived. All the fairies in the land had a special gift or talent. Some fairies were good at gardening and growing flowers, fruits, and veggies. Some were good with animals, some were good at healing and medicine, and some were good at fixing things. There were many special gifts and talents, but Brindley and Rue's special gift was being the dairy fairies. It was their job to watch over the herds of dairy cows and dairy goats. Every day they would milk the cows and goats and deliver fresh milk, cheese, yogurt, and other dairy products to the other fairies in the land. They would often remind everyone to make sure to drink their milk for the day to get their daily dose of vitamins.
Go up there. Go in the middle of the ring. There you go. Oh, yeah. All right, our next Pee-wee is Kinley Wachter. This is a story about the beautiful princess and the little pink goat. Once upon a time, they're me and we can share. So off they skipped to Grandma's house. After hours of traveling, they finally arrived at Grandma's. The little pink goat drank 6 big glasses of Oberhausley goat's milk and lots of cookies. They were both so full from all the treats, they just give a quick welcome.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Great Frederick Fair and our Pretty Goat contest. It's always so nice to see the kids and their animals all dressed up. Just the other day, I judged the Pretty Pig contest, so if you've never seen that, come back next year and see that. That was a lot of fun. Let's give the kids a nice round of applause just for getting their script together, getting dressed up, coming out here, and having a great time. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, we're so happy to see everyone here, and thanks for being here. Enjoy your evening at the Great Frederick Fair.
Milk, meat, and fiber for long voyages. They are smaller than cows and more sure-footed than sheep, making them ideally companions on my overseas voyages. The goats eat all sorts of things that would normally be wasted, such as banana peels, watermelon rind, and bread crust. The goats even boost the morale of my sailors because they are friendly and make wonderful pets. Did you know that the goat is often a mascot for ships? Even the United States Navy has goats in their official mascot, Bill the Goat. Actually, the first mascot was a real live goat named El Cid. He was brought to the Army-Navy football game in Annapolis in 1893. Navy won the game, and their win was attributed to the goat. That is how the U.S. Navy got their mascot. On my travels, I can't keep all the goats I puffered, so I give them to the 4-H clubs around the world. 4-H is where I learned to love and care for goats. I also show goats at the Great Frederick Fair. I love showing my goat Pine Tree here at the fair. I think everyone should show goats at fair since it utilizes all the 4-H's: head, heart, hands, and health. Well, I'm leaving now. I need to go prepare my ship to sail. Pine Tree and I have more pirating to do. Arr.
Next into the ring is Lucy. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Dorothy who lived on a farm in Maryland with her family, but she didn't feel like she belonged. All of Dorothy's family had something they enjoyed doing on the farm. However, Dorothy still hasn't found her special something. Or her something special, sorry. All of a sudden, Dorothy and her family saw a hurricane coming. Dorothy ran to her bedroom and laid on her bed. When the hurricane stopped, she found herself in a strange new land. This land was called the Great Frederick Fair. Dorothy didn't know what to do. She wanted to find her something special, but she also wanted to go home. So she started walking, taking in all of the sights along the way, when she came upon a scare goat named Dolly. Dolly told Dorothy all about the Dairy Goat program at the Great Frederick Fair. She told Dorothy that not only can you make friends and memories with all the members in the Dairy Goat family, you can also learn a lot through participating in 4-H and youth programs at the Great Frederick Fair. You can participate in making an educational display in the Dairy Goat barn, show off your club spirit decorating your pen, participate in the fit-out contest, parade of breeds, show your animal, and even participate in a pretty goat contest. Dorothy says, "Wow, interesting. What else can you do at the fair? And can you help me get home?" Dolly said, "Let me take you to the fair office. We can learn more along the way and also from Great and Mighty Fair Book. They may even be able to help you get home." So they took a long journey across the Great Frederick Fair and saw the pig barn, horse barn, the rabbit barn, and all the building projects. At first, Dorothy thought people liked the Great Frederick Fair because of the food and the rides. But it was not just the rides, it was all the hard work the exhibitors put into their animals and building projects. Then they kept walking, but she kept thinking about how cool and at home she felt in the Dairy Goat barn, and of course she loved seeing the cute little dairy goats. Finally, they were at the fair office. They walked in the office and met the Great and Mighty Fair Book. Dolly asked if the Fair Book could share all of its knowledge and ways to participate in the fair. The Fair Book said, "Of course, but there is so much you already know, and I would be happy to tell you more." Then Dorothy said, "I have had so much fun, but can you help me get home?" The Fair Book said, "Of course. Say these words, 'There is no place like home,' 3 times and tap your shoes together." Dorothy did what the Fair Book said, and flash, she was home. All of a sudden, Dorothy is surrounded by her family, Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, and realizes that it was all just a dream. "Hey, Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, I think I have finally found my something special. Can I have a dairy goat and show at the Great Frederick Fair?" "Of course," they said. Dorothy was so excited and said, "I think I'll name her Dolly." The end.
All right. Nope. Lucy. There you go. All right. Our next one is for Zeke. One day there was a super cool goat. She had sparkly wings and she was a fairy goat godmother. My name is Zeke, and I am the Milk Prince. I have the wand that glows with magic milk power. On our farm, me and my goat found out milk is awesome. The fairy goat godmother told me milk makes you big and strong and happy too. She said goat milk is extra good, and her magic made every bottle super special. We gave the milk to my friends and family. They drank it and had lots of energy to run and play. Some milk felt like it even had magic sparkles. My goat showed me how milk gets from the farm animals to our kitchen, and it helps people every day. We mix some magic into the milk, kindness, strong bones, and tasty fun. Now I use my magic wand to share all the milk with everybody. My fairy goat godmother helps me, and we make people smile and feel healthy. Milk is like a present from nature, and we love it. The end.
Next into the ring is Noah. Howdy, y'all. My name is Noah, and this is my horse Tootsie Roll, and I'm having some trouble with her lately. It all started when she overheard some 4-H kids at the farm talking about the Great Frederick Fair. She got so worked up, she busted through her fence and ran like a thoroughbred all the way here. My ranch hand and I got here as fast as we could. We searched the fairgrounds for ages. First, we stopped at the household building, thinking she would want to eat all the cakes and cookies. Then the beef barn. We stopped at so many places, thinking she would want a milkshake, but no luck. We finally made our way to the dairy goat barn and found her pinned up with another funny-looking pink goat with one horn and two very mad superintendents named Brittany and Brandy. They told us she trotted through the midway stealing all the kids' funnel cakes and candy apples. She was so crazy from all the sugar, she ran straight into the dairy goat barn, chugged all the goat milk, and passed out. That goat milk must be pretty powerful. Now she has 2 horns and a short tail, and I have a fence to fix, a horse I can't ride, and I owe a lot of kids some snacks. The end.
While the judges are deliberating, I'm going to introduce our judges. Our first judge is Marissa Moser Little, and she is from Thurmont, Maryland, where she resides with her husband, Steve, and her daughter, Kylie. Together they own Rise Above Genetics, a small high product herd of Ayrshire, Brown Swiss, and Holsteins. Marissa has exhibited cattle on a local, state, and national level, where they have exhibited many junior and senior champions. Marissa is also employed with the town of Thurmont in their Economic Development Office, where she maintains and develops different events for the town, such as the Thurmont Main Street Art and Wine Stroll and Farmers Market. Our other judges are Brandon and Chastity Myers. They live in Jefferson, Maryland. Brandon is the owner-operator of Myers Agri Repair, specializing in maintenance and repair for all types of farm equipment. They both were active in 4-H and FFA, and they grew up showing dairy cattle here at the Great Frederick Fair, and still do. Chastity still shows dairy cattle with her children. Thank you guys for being our judges today. All right, so we're going to give our junior awards out. In fourth place was Zeke. Third place was Noah, our cowboy. Second place was Finn, our pirate. And first place was Lucy, or Dorothy. All right, thank you. And everybody stay ringside because we usually do some photos at the end. So go ahead and
Okay, next we're moving on to our intermediate division, and first up we have Ellie. It was a crisp September night in Maryland, and the Great Frederick Fair was in full swing. Lights from the Ferris wheel lit up the sky, the smell of funnel cakes floated through the air, and someone was screaming their lungs out on the zipper ride. But hidden behind the cotton candy stand were 4 heroes in hoodies, trying their best not to look like giant talking turtles. "Dudes," Michelangelo whispered, his eyes wide as he pointed to a giant stand. "They've got deep-fried Oreos. This fair is basically heaven with powdered sugar." Leonardo crossed his arms. "Focus, Mikey. We're here because Donnie picked up some strange energy readings at the livestock barns." "Energy readings?" Raphael scoffed. "It's a fair. The only thing dangerous here is heartburn." But when they reached the dairy goat barn, they realized Raphael was wrong. Rows of goats bleated loudly, their long ears flopping as they chewed hay. Kids petted them, farmers brushed them, and signs proudly declared their breeds. "Check it out, bro. Long, hardy, and they'll eat almost anything," Donnie explained. Mikey pointed at one chewing on a kid's shoelace. "Yep, confirmed." The goats bleated louder and louder until, crash, the barn door slammed open. A squad of Foot Clan ninjas charged in, sending the goats into chaos. "Called it," Leo said, drawing his swords. "Bad guys at the Great Frederick Fair?" Raph cracked his knuckles. "Now this is my kind of 4-H club." The ninjas lunged, but the goats weren't having it. A massive Nubian goat lowered its head and bam! Head-butted a ninja straight into the butter churn. A Saanen goat kicked another one into a hay bale, while an Alpine leaped on top of the haystack like a kung fu master. "Yo, these goats are straight-up kung fu legends," Mikey laughed, slipping on spilled goat milk but turning it into a breakdance spin kick. Donnie ducked a punch, still narrating. "Fun fact, goat's milk is easier to digest than cow's milk, and about 65% of the world drinks goat's milk daily. It's also naturally homogenized." Ralph yelled, clotheslining 2 ninjas at once. "Now is it not the time for a TED Talk?" Meanwhile, one tiny Nigerian dwarf goat bit down on a foot ninja's pant leg and refused to let go. The ninja screamed and spun in circles, goat still attached. "The crowd is the weirdest mission we've ever had." "Because it is," Donnie answered, ducking as a goat launched itself over his head like it was in a rodeo. Finally, the last ninja was tossed headfirst into the goat milking contest tent, landing in a giant bucket. The goats proudly bleated in victory. The announcer, thinking it was part of the show, grabbed his mic. "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Great Frederick Fair Dairy Goat Champions." The crowd roared. People cheered. Kids waved. Nobody realized they just watched the Ninja Turtles and a herd of goats save the fair. Leo bowed slightly. Mission accomplished. Mikey scratched the Nubian goat behind the ears. "Dude, you're officially one of us. Cowabunga!" The goats bleated in agreement. And so the legend was born, the night the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a bunch of dairy goats. It also contains iron, zinc, and copper. Goat milk is also easier to digest than cow milk, so infants with dietary problems can drink goat milk because it's easier on their stomachs. Goat milk is greatly nutritious and will have all kids kidding around in no time. I first learned how to make cheese in my 4-H club. 4-H is great for teaching all things agriculture. They taught me how to care for and show my goats. Because of 4-H, I have this opportunity to show my goats here at the Great Frederick Fair. It's the best cheese. Heat up and stretch the cheese a few times, then put the cheese ball in ice water to cool it down. You can eat it right away. Congratulations! You just made your own goat milk mozzarella. Piper and I need to go and make more cheese now. We need energy to win tomorrow's showmanship class. Bye!
All right, so tonight we're going to test your knowledge Minecraft style. For any statement you believe is true, yell, chicken. Female goat is called a doe. Chicken jockeying. That's correct. FFA stands for Future Farting Animals. I am Steve. FFA stands for Future Farmers of America. Goat milk has more easily digested fat and protein content than cow's milk. Chicken jockeying. That's correct. A male goat is called a buck. Chicken jockeying. That's correct. The 4-H chicken jockeying. Of course, the Great Frederick Fair is the best. Thank you for testing the knowledge and enjoy the fair. Now the judges will deliberate on the 3 intermediates. All right. You guys can go ahead. Out. Stay ringside. All right. We have 2 seniors here yet. Num, 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 num. Hello, everyone. Me and Louie, the Cookie Monster, and me, so happy to be at the Great Frederick Fair. Me love cookies more than anything in the whole wide world. But guess what? Cookies are even better with milk. Lucky for me, my best friend here is a giant milk carton. Together, we are the ultimate snack time team. But milk does not just for dunking cookies. Oh no, milk's super important for strong bones and healthy bodies. It has 13 essential nutrients like protein, calcium, and vitamin D. That helps kids grow tall, keep teeth strong, and give energy to play all day at the fair. Doctors and nutritionists even recommend 3 servings of dairy every day, like a glass of milk, a cup of yogurt, or a slice of cheese. And dairy doesn't stop there. There's also butter for baking and ice cream for celebrating. Ice cream. Me love ice cream. At the Great Frederick Fair, me and Cookie Monster not only get cookies, but also get to remind everyone how important dairy is in everyday life. From the hardworking animals in the barns to the milk in the glass at dinner, dairy helps make meals healthier and families stronger. Now, me must find cookies and maybe a big glass of milk to go with them. Num 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 num.
All right, our last pretty goat contestant is Alina. Hi, y'all. We're country music singing sensations, Alina and Charlotte. It's been a busy tour season, and we're wrapping it up at the Great Frederick Fair tonight. Throughout this tour, it's been pretty chaotic, and goat milk has been our go-to nutritious beverage of choice. Goat milk contains so many important proteins, vitamins, and minerals, all essential to making sure we are fueled up for the stage. We get pretty sweaty during our performance and always wash off with goat milk soap. Goat milk soap is known for its moisturizing properties and leaving our skin smooth and silky. According to the 2022 Census of Agriculture, there are approximately 3,041 dairy goats in Maryland. The grandstand at the Great Frederick Fair holds about 3,200 people, almost equivalent to how many dairy goats there are in the state. Now, imagine filling every seat in the grandstand with goats for Charlotte and I's sing-along. You guys have fun how fun our concerts must be. Some of our cover hits include Dolly Parton's Goat Lean, Alan Jackson's Goat a Hoochie, and Riley Green's There Was This Goat. So once you're done cheering on the contestants at tonight's show, boogie on down to see me and Charlotte sing our hearts out on the big stage.
All right. Second place goes to Alina. And first place goes to Ella, Cookie Monster. All right. Ella, if you can just stay out there. If somebody wants to come get that for you, they can. We need to have our first place winners back in. So, Ellie, if you can stand behind Ella head to tail. Lucy, go behind Ellie. And little Brinley, go behind Lucy. Stand right there. You're good. And smile. Now you got to pick an overall and a return. You want your favorite back?
So they'll get the blankets. This one's the champion.
One says champion, one says 4 winners from each age division over here. Judges, you're in it too. And thank you guys for attending the Pretty Goat Contest.